Okay. Okay, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome to this stream. Let me delete this block real quick. Just real quick. And do what I've been thinking of. Because I've been thinking about... I've been thinking about you. There's a song that says something like that. There's always a song that says, I've been thinking about you. Because that's true. That's what humans do. We think about each other. We think about each other. We think of... Subscribe to earn drops. What is drops? I don't know. Do I care? Well, for now I would say no. For now I don't. Okay? Okay. Let me turn this off. Hello, Arnab Chatterjee. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream, to this beautiful Tuesday in Latvia, Riga. In Latvia, Riga. Why can't I join? Yes, here it is. Because you want to see those games, right? I can't be not in a queue. People are going to get uneasy. People are going to get uneasy if I'm not in the queue, okay? So welcome, Arnab. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Is it true that pigeons are direct descendants of Ramses III? Big Meat Pete. B.I.G., the notorious meat. The meat thrower. The meat smasher. The meat grinder. The Memphis Strangler. The Memphis Meat Grinder. Where the elite without feet need to eat meat. The restaurant. That's from Family Guy. They call me Big Meat Pete, and I skeet. Skeet. I don't know how to pronounce that, so excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. Welcome to this Tuesday beautiful stream. Now, it's been a while since I've streamed. Was kind of busy, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. You seem to be in a good mood. Happy to see that. I am. I indeed am. In the mornings, for me personally, For me, it's very easy to be in a good mood in the mornings. I've said this before. Mornings, I don't get when people say, I'm not a morning person. Come on, guy, you just woke up. That's the best you're going to be. It goes downhill from there. Just because after sleep, I think, I truly believe this. I think that when people say they're not a morning person, what they mean is, I don't like what I'm about to do. And then they have to go to work, Does good coffee help too? Of course, yes. Yes, but still, even without coffee, the best time for me is the morning, in any case, The best time, even without coffee, is the morning for me, Hello, Rachel. Oh, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. To the stream. I am doing very well. I'm doing very well. Pigeon Agents, switch to Unity. A lot of reasons why. Needed to do that. Did it. There's going to be a Steam page. It's all good. I think you can't even make a Steam page for a web game if you have it on itch. So, Unity is, Unreal Engine, of course, is the GOAT. GOAT. But the problem with Unreal Engine is, well, it's an overkill, okay? Because, well, if you... there's a big difference in build sizes, Unreal Engine would export something like 1.5 gigabytes, while Unity exports like 90 megabytes, like by default. I know. People are going to say, hey, every engine can be used to do everything. Okay, I'm not at that level, okay? I just click some buttons, I click export. If it's 1.5 gigabytes, don't like it. If it's 90 megabytes, like it, okay? And there's just a pigeon on the screen, so why would it be 1.5 gigabytes? Unreal Engine, well. When it comes to Linux, oh, you can export to Linux, no problem. I'm not sure how to, I've never used Linux, so I don't know about the bugs and stuff, but they do definitely have Linux kind of options, And they definitely do have some Linux options. I need to put the both chats right by each other so I can read them at the same time. We have the pigeon game already. No, it's just a kind of a 1/3 of a demo, 1/3 of a demo. You can go to the Discord, the Pigeon Agents Discord, and you will see some screenshots from it. I guess I should give you the link, shouldn't I? Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, the stream's starting off with a bang. Oh, that's just what I want. Yesterday I uploaded a video where I said, hey, I'm getting a 12-hour ban on my account every day. Well, this is what it looks like, my friends. Now you know that my videos do not lie. Sometimes people say, oh, you think about what you say or you pre-record it. It's all here. It's all here, my friends. There's nothing. There's nothing that Latvians have a saying, laugh or cry, and I usually choose laugh. It's a saying about things are so bad, you either just laugh or cry. It's just whatever. There are no pigeons in my neighborhood, but there are mourning doves and Eurasian collared doves, which are just fancier pigeons. Aren't those the blue ones? I think doves are very similar to pigeons. They're just like the royal version of pigeons. Now, why did Tristana ban Yorick? Why did she do that? Why would you, I'm streaming. I need to be interesting. I can't be just sitting in a queue. Tristana, please. Why did you take it back? Imagine it turns out that you can take it back. Please let it not be a 12-hour ban. For all that is holy, Riot Games, do not let it be a 12-hour ban. It's a 12-hour ban. We started off with a bang. Now let me use the sound effect here. That's what happened to the stream. That's what happened to the stream. It's all good. It's all good. Let me relog. Riot's been trying to also not... okay, enable preview. I really need to see the stream because I'm worried that something is not working on... Okay, let me just quickly check YouTube if it's actually working. Okay, let me open up my channel before I relog. Here we go. Okay, it's black. The screen is black. It's fine, it's fine. It's all cool. It's all cool. Now I can relog. There we go. There we go. Let's use the farmer account. Would you ever do a game developing stream? Yes. Now, my thinking is this, okay? I haven't done this yet, but I'm just going to give you a heads up that I've been, for the past months, I've been thinking of, what can I do on my channel in general? What more can I do, to make it more interesting? But also, what can I do in this specific situation where the Riot is not allowing me to play what I want, right? And of course, I could just set up a situation where I press F1 and it just switches to some kind of a Unity screen where I just continue making the game, Riot just naturally making my channel switch to something different. Have you even thanked Riot once? I think I have a lot, many times. I think I have many times. I think I have done that many times, my friend. Exit to home. Okay, let's see. Let's hope that this farmer account doesn't have 12-hour ban. Oh, it does not. Whew. Oh. There it is. Professor Yorick mid, what is that? Why is it giving me Yorick mid Professor end items? Oh, I'm glad you have such, you know, I'm glad you have made some choices here, Professor, because this definitely doesn't seem like you have listed all possible items. Thank you very much for giving me that, you know, that narrow road to go and understand. Oh, okay. Oh, this is a choice too? Well, Professor, ain't that something? I'm actually glad that this guy is here. Yeah. I'm actually glad that this guy is here. Hello, Tuna. Hello, Morphy Baby. I came here for the farming content, but I stayed for your indie game. Have you tried the web version of the Pigeon Agents? Oh, you have. You're the one who suggested I finish it. Yes. But yeah, it's going to be a standalone downloadable game. Makes a lot of sense to do that. Makes much more sense because when people started reporting FPS issues, I was thinking, okay, I've just started. I haven't even added any heavy logic or heavy rendering to it, and people already have FPS issues with the web version. So, you know, what am I doing, right? So for now, I switched to Unity. The good thing is that Play Canvas, Unity, and Unreal Engine, they all work in the same way. Once you get the hang of the names of the settings and stuff, the only thing that kind of gives you additional resistance when you switch from one software to another is only to know where all the stuff is. And that's, you know, that's no small thing, but still, it's nice that they worked in the same way. So you can, it doesn't take too much time to switch between them, you know. So that's just a plus. That's just a plus, if you will. Okay. Thoughts on the new game mode? Haven't played it. Next. Next. Lock in. Hex Flash, Biscuit Delivery. Ooh. These guys too. There we go. I'm gonna try to do some Hex Flashes, okay? I'm gonna try to do some Hex Flashes. You can't split push in it, so... You can't split push in League of Legends anymore anyway. Thoughts on new Pope? You know, let me close my eyes. I'm seeing a robe. I'm seeing a guy washing hands. The Pope. That's it. Those are my thoughts. I can neither confirm nor deny that those are just my thoughts or that was some kind of a channeling from the universe. But that's what I saw when I closed my eyes with your you know, with the you know, when you say, okay, I'm gonna think about the Pope, and then you close your eyes and you think, you know, what comes. American guy. Well, yeah. Is that something that is unique? You know, him being American, or what's going on there? What is your Yorick camp called? I think it's called Regular Yorick. That's the scene name. That's the scene name. Been loving the hex flashes in the videos. Yeah, me too, me too. You know, and I have already only just started because the hex flashes, they work. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of ways it can work, and I've only scratched the surface, I think. I imagine him always eating glizzies. What is a glizzy? What is that? What is that, my friend? Glizzy is a hot dog. Huh. Glizzy from the Blizzy. Seem to remember something like that. Hot dog. Why not burgers? Burgers. That's the American thing, isn't it? That's the true American thing. That's what we come here for, you know? Flat health? Yeah. I take flat health when I want to be in the early game. If I want to be strong in the early game. Oh no, this block is wrong. Block wrong. Block wrong. Yeah, block wrong, sorry. Block wrong. Okay, Mr. Nocturne. As I've said before, I really like when my jungler is a good guy. I really like that, so I'm gonna do everything in my power to make him into, you know, my friend. Da-da. Let me give him some of the, you know, dancing support over here. Just some dancing support. Da-da. Da-da-da-da. Hello, David Johnson. I am very well. Today is the first day of heat in Latvia. Yesterday, day before yesterday, week before day before yesterday, 2 weeks before week before day before yesterday, it was windy and extremely cold, even though it's May. But now, I opened up the window this morning and I felt that, you know, that sweet, very kind of like calming air. Sometimes the air fights with your skin, but this air just didn't fight with my skin. Oh, there's Kled. What you doing, boy? Kled, he so wanted to be against me. Well, you know, I don't want to be gloating too much. You know, I don't know what is his plan, but, you know, oh, maybe that's just because of the Cassidon. What you doing, boy? What you doing, boy? I don't know what he doing. He wants to shoot. Yeah, there he is. There he is doing the shooting. The only shooting you do is in a Kleenex. Poof. That's what I remember from Breaking Bad, you know. Yeah. He wants to... Oh! What the F are you doing, boy? I actually... To be safe, I flashed, you know, because I just don't know what's the damage there, you know, if there is even any. Gotta be careful, because he wants to crash this wave, and I really, really, really don't want him to do that. I really want to... I should probably ping this. Okay. Okay. There's that gank. I think he has a bad CS, doesn't he? It's pretty bad CS. Oh. If I get back in time before this crashes, it's cool. If I don't, meaning that it's worth for me. If I don't, then it's still kind of worth, because his CS is pretty bad. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But you can take the cannon. You can take the cannon. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I would say it's worth. So, okay. Can we get some Pigeon Rick action? I think not today. I think not today, because it's just not ready, you know. It's going to be the same thing again, and, you know, the same problems that were before. that people mentioned, you know, being able to spam, all that jazz hasn't been, there's, you know, I wouldn't call it that next time it's going to be fixed, but at least next time there's going to be an attempt at fixing something, and I'm going to just get the feedback from you, my friends, and I'll see if it actually did make the game feel better, you know. So, so yeah, that's that. The cookie's on number 4, but it should be on number 3, as the Master Shen player said. Actually, a Grandmaster. Okay. Okie dokie. I was watching, you know, I've been listening to those medieval stories, and one of the recent ones that I listened to for 2 hours was about, you know, but I wonder if he wins. I think he does not. Oh, so that's why he wanted to play against me. It's because I don't understand the quickness of the, oh sweet Jesus. Why did he get it back so fast? Can someone explain it to me? Because sometimes he doesn't, you know, I understand that he gets it back, you know, whatever, the amount of time. But why did he get it back so incredibly fast here? Okay. Medieval Europe stories, yes. Medieval Europe stories. And this particular one was about peasants surviving in the in that good old, okay, in that good old winter, and what they did. Okay. And that was kind of incredible to listen to, honestly. Damn, I can't even, I don't even know when I can do stuff and when I can't do stuff. Okay. Did he use his big thing? I think he might have. Oh, Jesus. Sweet Lord. Yeah, you know, sorry, my friends. I haven't played against Kled in such a long time that I don't understand what he's doing. Okay. So you're just gonna have to bear with me here while well, hopefully my team carries me this match. Or once I get to Eclipse and it's gonna work out. Okay. Or Mr. Nocturne gives me some, you know, some miracle saves here. And he can do that, believe me. Okay. So bear with me over here. He is really kind of almost feels like he's doing what I like to do, which is just surprising the enemy by the amount of stuff that you have suddenly in terms of health and damage. But you know. Okay. 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 I see them doing something there. I see them fighting the bot lane there. I see Zyra in the bushes. I see Senna not in the bushes. I see that Kled might be coming here. Okay, okay, okay. All the episodes sound the same though. Oh, you are so right. That's exactly my #1 criticism of it that I yesterday was thinking about. I was listening and I thought, oh, first of all, he's making the same jokes. And, you know, joke lines in a sense, because he uses phrases that are funny and he's making the same phrases. And, okay, is Kled going to use it on me? Or is he going to use it on Mel? He's using it on Mel though, I see. Oh no, they did the exact worst thing they could have done. You know, sorry, it's a mid gap. It's a mid gap. It's you know, it's cool. It's all cool. It's bad, but it's cool. you know, sometimes it can be done. Sometimes it can be done. Okay. Da-da. So yeah, that was my exactly my exact criticism is that the episodes sound the same, and I'm hoping that he's gonna find or has found different kind of stories to tell. You know, for example, about Roman Empire, I saw there was one episode. Maybe about Vikings. You know, Vikings would be interesting. I like Vikings. I come from Vikings. I have red beard, by the way. So, you know. Okay. Okay. And there's that clad. Oh, so that's what happens, right? So that's why it happens. So, what if he doesn't hit champions at all? So are you saying he doesn't get it back at all when he doesn't hit champions? That might be true, because I noticed that it was something like that. What is she waiting for, I wonder? For me to get that cannon? Well, there she is. I need to go back. I need to go back. Can't do it. Oh no, can't do it. Kled is gonna interrupt me now. Isn't he? I think he is. I think he is. Okay. When he hit minions, it works as well. Okay, I should really... So, basically, I shouldn't stand close to him. That's about it, right? That was my big mistake, wasn't it? Okay. Mr. Kled. Okay. The Roman Empire was almost copy-pasted. Yeah. It did get diminishing returns very, very quickly. But I still listened to the one which was about how peasants survived. I still listened to that one. Yeah, it's a mid-gap. It's a mid-gap. True. I wasn't able to hold him down, so now my team kind of suffers for it. Me and my team kind of suffer for it, by the way. It's not only just my team. So it is what it is. So it is what it is. Okay. If she uses her jump, I might just do a little bit of a flash, flash on there. Okay. Although she is, Okay. Da-da. Okay. Slap them. You should check out the Y files. Okay. What is that? Okay. Okie dokie. Gotta be really careful here. Gotta be really careful here. There's that Kled. There's that Kled. Do you think your build would be better with Conqueror and Scorch? The way I understand it, Comet is better early game, Conqueror is better late game, so that, you know, that's it. That's the logic. Okay. Is that Dracula? Because the Dracula one is the one which always wins against me, you know? This not being an exception. No, 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 no. She pressed the button. She pressed the button. She did press the button. Now, am I the one who's gonna be, you know, kind of, I got the worst end of that stick, you know? I got the worst end of that stick, but they also did, you know, did get a very, very bad end of a stick. Okay. I would suggest channel History Civis. It's not. It's not about the history, I would say, 100%, but it's, you know, history kind of has this calming quality to it, you know. World War II, World War I, I like too, you know, so... The Y files actually sound like a... the sound name sounds like something I would trust, you know? Sounds like something I would trust. Okay, Kled is coming. Kled is coming. Oh no, Kled is coming. There he is. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Roman Republic period is sexy. In what sense? In sense of the naked men? Do you like naked men figure? Figure of the naked man. Oh, by the way, I was thinking about, just to return to League for just 1 second, I was thinking that Eclipse is better if you're winning the lane, and Black Cleaver is better if you're losing the lane. Okay. So I should have bought the Black Cleaver this match. So, you know, I did lose not only against Kled, but also against the shopkeeper and also against my own. Okay. Okay. And again, as I've said, people sometimes say that, oh, haha, you lost against shopkeeper. But people lose against the shopkeeper every game. And it's very rare when someone buys the perfect thing, you know? So that would be considered the time where you would, okay, where you would not lose against the shopkeeper. Okay. Careful with that Kled, you know. I believe he does not scale out. Scale better than I do, but yeah. History-wise, you know, no offense, but I've never understood people who use the word sexy at stuff that has nothing to do with that. do you, I understand that people say it, but it's to me, to my Latvian ears, it's like, it's kind of like, I don't feel it at all, you know. Okay. Flashed him. Flashed on him. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. We need to stop that Kled. You know, you know what's gonna happen? There's gonna be shutdown on that Kled. And then he's gonna die one more time, and then one more time, and then we're gonna win the game. You'll see. Because he has probably bought items that are not gonna serve him if they start losing. That's how it works in League of Legends. That's what I've noticed. Okay, Hex flashed. Probably wasn't worth, but it is what it is. Are you high elo? No, it's D4. It's the lowest of low. It is the lowest of low. It's the you know, it's the place where you get stuck when you have been a sinner in life. A sinner in life. What is your favorite side of the stick? The one which doesn't have an extra branch, because the side that has the the one which has the extra branch, because okay, there she is. I'm gonna release Maiden. So we need to shut Kled down one more time for my prophecy to come true, and then, you know, it's all good. It's all golden. It's all golden. Oh, Maiden took the kids. Welcome, my friend. Oh, I haven't turned on the sub counter. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I forgot. Literally forgot. But it's fine, you know. Most of people don't care about the sub counter. The thing is that those types of things work subconsciously, so no one would ever say, oh yeah, man, you know, I wanted to have that alert. I really wanted to see that alert. Okay. But they would feel it. You know, they would feel it. Okay. Need to shut down that Kled. Need to shut down that Kled one more time. What's going on with that Kassadin there? He's fighting the Maiden alone. Okay. Oh, I forgot everything. All of these overlays. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. So yeah, thanks for the subscriptions. Hype train, you know, all that good Twitch jazz that happens to, you know, kind of hype you up. You know, I like that stuff. It's kind of like pointless, but it still gives you some happiness, you know. It still gives you a little bit of happiness. Okay. Whoop. Do I have enough for the Black Cleaver? No. I've been thinking Black Cleaver is better than Eclipse in two cases. If you're losing, and if your jungler is AD, and I literally just forgot to look at my jungler. Because then, I think if you're getting Eclipse, you're kind of trolling a little bit, you know? Eclipse first is very good, especially if you're winning. You know? But I wasn't winning to this match, so I probably shouldn't have bought it. Oh, we could actually get this guy. Even if he gets his thing back, right? He's still gets shut down a little bit. He still gets shut down a little bit. Oh, thank you for gifting the subscriptions. The gifting has started. The Christmas is here. Santa Claus is in the chat. Has entered the chat. Okay. You know what? She's saying, what are you emoting, Nocturne? You're losing LP, you pig. Oh. Got dark there at the end. But the thing is, I emote all the time because I like this Tarek emote, and I know people get mad at that. And I just don't see that, you know? I don't see that. Black Cleaver is very, very good. I do agree. It's just that Eclipse... Let me tell you when Eclipse is very, very good, and when you can clearly see the difference to Black Cleaver. It's when you have won the lane so much that... I think on my last stream... Check out the last match on my last stream. It was against the Vladimir. And he was being held back so much, held down under that tower, that Eclipse was... Black Cleaver wouldn't have been able to do that against him. It's still fine, you know, as an item. But Eclipse just gives you that extra poke when the enemy is under that tower, you know. That's why... You know... That's why Eclipse, but I do agree that I should buy Eclipse a little bit less, especially if my jungler is AD and I'm AD and, you know, stuff like that. I do agree, So you chat, if you even made a point, you have a great point. You do have a great point. Sorry, Mel. Released Maiden. Released Maiden, Mel. And of course, Black Cleaver just gives you speed all the time. Almost all the time. Hype Train leveled up. What you doing, boy? He's level 17, okay. Oh, welcome, my friends. There's so many subscriptions and gifts happening. So many subscriptions and gifts. Okay. Oh, no. That's kind of, you know... That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, Black Cleaver is very, 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 very good. But again, as I said, Eclipse just gives you that a little bit of that extra poke. But it falls off very quickly if you think about it. The longer the fight goes on, the worse Eclipse becomes, you know? Okay. Celebrick actually sounds a little bit like, you know, Celibate Rick. What you doing? That's a little bit of anything going on there. You know, we don't need that here. We don't need that inting over here. Well, slapped. Would have been much cooler if I wasn't alone, but I'll say still cool, you know. I'll say still cool. But again, would have been much cooler if I wasn't alone there. Cled Flintstone. What you doing, Cled? What you doing, Cled? What you doing, Cled? Okay. Rise to Chally. So many pun nicknames these days. I've said that I like pun nicknames, and I think those are the best kinds of nicknames. But I didn't know it's going to be that many. I wasn't expecting them to be, you know, just take over the whole nickname landscape. Okay. Nah. Every time I played Yorick into Kled, it's been rough. Yeah, you know, maybe, you know, maybe Kled is just a counter. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Kassadin. Careful. Kassadin. Ah, he's gonna get away. I don't like that. But at least, you know, at least he's here, right? Not in a team fight. At least he's here. Not in the team fight. There's a little gift box by your nickname, Morphe baby. Is that the amount of times you have gifted a sub? It is, right? Oh no, oh no, they have that damage. There's no other choice. I have to get this item. Actually, well, okay. Sub-gift leader, it says. Yeah, you're right. Probably right. So thanks. Yeah. Even if I sometimes don't say thanks, I am thankful. Have you said thank you once? Yes. A lot of times, Mr. JD Vance. A lot of times. Oh, that's kind of a big range, isn't it? Well, that's kind of a big range, isn't it? You know. Okay. We could win. It's possible. I do believe in us, and it's going to be beautiful if we do. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be like surviving the winter in the medieval days. Okay, yesterday, I was on public transportation, as I sometimes am. So what happens is, sometimes me and the wife, we drive into the countryside with the car. But sometimes I do enjoy some public transportation because, well, I do live in a city, right? Oh. And specifically, I ride with my skateboard as far as I want. And then once I'm kind of bored of riding, oh, slapped her. Once I get bored of riding, I just get into a bus or a tram. Okay, I have to focus. I can't figure, you know. I think he dies. He has to. He has to. There it is. That's that poke. That's that poke. Oh. Okay, there's a little bit of time. So then I go back using the bus. You know, for example, let's say I ride 10 kilometers. And then I think, it's enough for today. So I go to the nearest bus stop and I go back home. So there's a guy, a homeless guy in front of me. And let's just say he had that cloud around him, okay? He had that cloud around him. And I was thinking, okay, you know, it's kind of tough being here. But I was listening to the medieval stories. They said that it smelled terribly all the time and no one cared. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, am I really that, you know, that weak? I can't just survive this cloud for just 1 second, you know, for just 5 minutes? And the answer was no, I couldn't. It was pretty bad. I don't care about the medieval times. It was pretty bad. So what happened next was kind of horrible because the guy got out. And the cloud stayed there, okay, for like you know, as it does sometimes. And what happened was, I was sitting there alone. It was a 2x2 seater, meaning that two people are. Oh no! Yeah, this is just too bad. Gonna have to flash. Yeah, it's over. It's too. I think it's too hard. It's too. The respawning of the towers is just too far away. So, so we will have a lot of trouble. Okay. Yeah, GG. You know, it's. I have to say, completely my bad. It was totally a mid gap. ED what it is. You know, sometimes you just gotta be able to take it and let the suffering be as much as it is, and that's it. You know, then forget about it. So that lingering cloud. Let me just tell you the story to completion, because you might find this funny. You might suffer together with me. You tell me in the chat. Did you find this funny, or did you? Oh, got demoted. It is what it is. You might find it. You tell me if you find this funny, or you find it. You know, I feel you. I feel you. So what happened was, a lady sits next to me, and I'm alone there, and the cloud is still lingering, and I can see from the periphery of my vision that she you know, she has smelled the cloud, and she's looking at me with the side of her eyes, and just like thinking, oh, you know. And I'm sitting there thinking, come on, lady, it's not me. It's the guy was just here. You just didn't see it. And it's clear that she thought it's me. So that was horrible. And I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything about it. So at least she didn't move away. She was polite enough, you know. She was polite enough about that. Singed on the bus. Yeah. Same, I rollerblade a lot. When I'm tired, I take the bus, especially on free bus days. Crop dusted, very funny. What does that mean, crop dusted? In high school, I was with a good friend and a girl in the car. He farted, but he liked the girl, so I took it on me. Damn, true Chad. Crop dusted? Does that mean when farts walking past people? Yeah. And the homeless guy who was in front of me, he actually looked pretty good. It's just that his clothes were dirty. And it was like, I imagine that that's the smell of the clothes. I was sitting in front of him and I was thinking, this might actually be the smell that medieval people experienced every day, because it looked like he's kind of okay. His visual appearance is kind of okay. But it's just that the clothes are, you know what they look like? They looked like? It looked like if I were to take his hand, just you know, the sleeve of his jacket, and if I would just bend it a little bit, it would crack. That's what it looked like. So yeah. US public transport is really bad. A lot of stuff like that. I studied abroad in Japan. Yeah. Japan, you know, United States gets a lot of flack about this stuff, but it is what it is, you know. You got that big country, you know. You got that big experiment. What did they say? America is the great experiment, right? So, you know, sometimes it happens. And Japan is, of course, one of those. Japan is one of those examples where, you know, you have a smaller country which is rich, and they can afford that type of stuff. But you know, when you look at Eastern Europe, well, a failed science experiment. Why failed? People called it the experiment when it first started, right? 1776 or whatever. And it became the most powerful country in the world. So how can you call that a failed experiment? It only started failing, as I understand, and trigger warning, of course, this is kind of like whatever you lean politically, but it only started failing once the socialism started coming in. So, from my perspective, that's clear. Until until the United States they were just charging forward, being the number one all the time. And then people started, politicians started coming into power saying, oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to do this. And then they started losing. It could fail, of course. I'm not saying it won't. It could easily fail. I would say it's been failing. Last 50 years, it's been going down. It's been kind of failing downwards. But yeah, it became the most powerful country in the world. How can you call that a failed experiment? The way I see it, the reason they call it experiment is because it started as a place where people come together from all the places in the world, mix together, and kind of make this new mixture of cultures. That's why it's called experiment, from as I understand. So that's the kind of like the winning part. Oh, we all came here. Oh, we had all the freedom and stuff. Whatever it meant at those times, and it just worked. It just catapulted the culture to the number one spot. And then people started, saying, oh, we, and then it's been going down, So I really don't want to, I really don't, I hope that it, I hope it, I don't know, I hope it goes back up, because we don't want to live in a world where Russia is number one or China is number one, do we? I don't think we do. At least in Eastern Europe, we don't. 55-year-old here, you can vouch. 100% accurate. Huh. Resubscribe for 2 months. Thank you, my friend. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can blame everything in the dog. Always having a dog with you is such a big, not a challenge, but it takes a lot out of you. But I do understand that it would fix that problem. Yeah, I do understand. Mixing pot, yeah. As much as the right-leaning people sometimes think that that's not a good thing, that's definitely one of the things that made America great. Definitely. It's interesting when you listen to politics, there's so much you can agree on both sides that I wonder why aren't there more people who say, for example, hey, the fact that people came to the United States as immigrants and made stuff happen, that's a good thing. That's what made America great, right? But that can be true, and it also can be true that, hey, people can't just march over the border. Both of those things can be true, and it's, to my mind, it's kind of like, that's clear, it's easy to see that, but it's so divisive in the way that people just kind of like, it's almost like when you don't actively think about this stuff, you kind of slide into one of those extremes. So that's, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's funny how Eastern Europeans know Russia is not cool, and here in Latin America some countries love it. Yeah, that's just one of those things. In the United States sometimes they love Soviet Union. Guys, do you understand how it just was worse. It was way worse than the United States. Even at its peak, it was way worse. And there's a huge, absolutely massive difference between those two countries in those days when they were just kind of like toe to toe, right? One of them survived. and the other one blew up so in such a huge explosion that we in Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, we are still picking up the pieces of that. And it's beyond me that some people in the American universities praise Soviet Union. Even like the most intellectual communists on the internet these days, even they don't praise Soviet Union. So what are you doing, guys? Although I will agree that there is some nostalgia about abandoned buildings from the Soviet, the brutalism architecture. I do enjoy those quite a bit because it's almost like if you're walking in those, in Latvia we have a lot of these abandoned, like very weird looking buildings which have these huge concrete blocks and stuff. And when you walk into them and, there, it does have that vibe of a post-apocalyptic vibe, and that's a cool vibe, and you wouldn't get that if Soviet Union hadn't blown up, So it is one-sided. All immigrants walked over, essentially. Yeah, but that was before there was anything. Because if you walk to a land which you have to build yourself, that's one thing. But if you walk into a land where you just walk into a system where you will get stuff, that's a totally different thing. I think you would agree, right? Okay. So that's the big difference, and to my mind, again, it's like, well, that's so clear to see that there's a huge difference between going somewhere and building something and going somewhere and extracting value from it, if that's the case. If you go there and you build something again, that's again good, right? But if you just extract value, then, what are you doing, guys? I have this friend who went to UK, and that's not the same thing at all, I understand. But what happened was, for some reason, they have these programs where someone from Latvia just can go there, get education. And I don't 100% remember what was the deal, but the thing was super weird. It was like he got the education and he was paid a certain amount of money before he gets work, right? And again, I don't remember exactly what that was, but there was this incentive for him to not find the work because he was getting increasingly bigger payments or something the longer he was out of work or something like that. And I was listening to this and thinking, what are they doing? Why do they have such a system where someone goes there, gets a lot of, value, and isn't incentivized to kind of build it back, in a sense? That was just, why are you doing that? And I think the answer is that people don't even think about it. They just make the system, and they just, and this might be, kind of like opinion that might be challenged easily, but I think it's just politicians just virtue signal. They make these systems, they get elected, then they go back, and then the systems are still there. Something like that. But I might be wrong, I'm not 100% certain on that. Okay, I need to kind of break this freeze, I need some help from that clown, because I wasn't really paying attention and it froze. Okay. She sees it, doesn't she? Okay. Da-da. 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 I need that help from that clown. Really need that help from that clown over there. Because I can't scoop her up if she's freezing like this. I really can't scoop her up. Okay. Okay. That was a good flash. That was a good flash. Okay. You know, and my friend, it was so funny meeting him after all those years when he was studying in UK. And I was thinking, I've heard stories about bigger countries just giving away money. But I had never kind of experienced it because theoretically I knew that, oh, this must be pretty bad, you know, because he gets something and he's not incentivized to build anything back. But I saw it in his face. It was so funny. He had this kind of like this gleam in his eye. He was like, you know, well, yeah, you know, I'm just living my life, and he was just, you know, that was kind of funny, honestly. It's kind of funny to see that. It really isn't to get any support from the United States. I have no idea, you know. These days, probably not anymore. But as I understand, I have this friend who works. Ever since they closed up all the what was that? What was the money that you could? What was the organization that gave you money? USAID or something. Damn, so many places closed. I was hearing stories about, oh, we had this program. Oh, we had this program in Latvia. We had this program. My friend works in Uganda, and he said, oh yeah, this thing closed. And I was thinking, well, why were they even you know, what was going on even there? And again, I don't want to say that all of that is wrong or all of that is useless, but it makes you think that, oh, how many places in the world were financed by that thing, you know? And as a Latvian, I should have been, you know, I would, you know, if you were to ask me, hey, which one would you vote for the candidates? As a Latvian, I would have to vote for the non-Trump because Trump closed the money. You know, he closed the flow. So why would I not want some extra flow? Extra, you know, that sweet, sweet cash over there. Rank 1 Poppy is kind of holding down that Irelia there. Okay. Okay. There's that Ignite. And, you know, again, I have no idea how easy it is to get some social, you know, benefits and stuff. If it turns out that it's actually, as you say, you know, it's not easy and you don't get stuff, then, you know, I'm going to look at that and say, okay, well, then it's not. But if it turns out that it's just, there are these weird loopholes like my friend with the UK, that's just so obvious that that's unsustainable behavior, you know, by a country. Just that good old unsustainable behavior. So the thing about USAID is the number of buyer crops the government can't sell much from 5 cents. Oh, you're talking about some kind of economic thing. I better not even comment on that because those type of things are so ununderstandable to my mind when you mix government regulations and government money flow with just some basic economics about farming or something. That's over. It's over. That's done. It's worse than Soviet Union, by the way, because they, at least when they did all of this manipulations with economy, what they used to do is they would just simply say, oh, you know, a pot made from this material it's going to cost 10, and it was called it was called kapeikas, the name of the currency. So at least that way you can kind of understand, okay, you know, they are fixing the price. Oh. They are fixing the price. I get it. But when they mix everything up and the kind of like the and you know, I hate to be saying the same boring thing again. But that's what people are big mad about. It's like when the system is so ununderstandable, so unintuitive, it's the big guys with the resources to understand it that win. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, gonna scoop her. Gonna scoop her up. She pressure used the R. Okay. Pressure used it. Pressure used it. Oh. Well, actually, Galio scooped it up. And Big Meat Pete, I don't mean to say that you're wrong or, you know, it's just that getting into that kind of a conversation, I just find it really super annoying because I literally just simply don't understand what's going on there, you know, so I can only kind of give my opinion on stuff that makes sense to me, you know. For example, in general, when government fixes some prices, my understanding is bad. It's unsustainable in the long term. Oh no, I have to go there now. Wanted to go back, but this guy just, you know. Okay, it's fine. No, it's, you know, you can explain. I'm just telling you that I'm probably not gonna treat kind of like your comment with the amount of thinking that it deserves, in a sense, you know, because it's just way too hard for me to get into that. Okay. Actually, is he AD? Oh, he's AD, so again, I should have gotten the... Oh no, this match, it's fine that I get Eclipse. They're literally spending our tax money and getting fish drunk. Yeah, those are those programs. In Latvia, we had this program which was... it wasn't actually that bad, but still... we had this program where there were some courses, improvisation courses for not migrants, but people who escape war. And that got closed down. And I was thinking, okay, on the surface of it, it's kind of wholesome, you know. You think, oh, you know, people are suffering, and then you have improvisation for them. It's kind of cool. I would even say, yeah. But is that really the priority? Come on. So that got closed down. That was literally money from the United States. I had no idea that thing exists. Okay. Oh, again, my high noon Yorick isn't... I don't have high noon Yorick for the simple fact that... Oh, Shaco, don't give it away. Don't give it away, Shaco. Okay. Oh, someone has to scoop her up, man. Someone has to scoop her up. Oh, they have a... Oh, suddenly 5 people here, damn. That's not good at all. But, I will get this now. I will get it now. Both my parents are government workers. Yeah, it's, you know, I don't want to... Yeah, it's just a forever conversation. You know, it's, I don't even, it's kind of hard to, I just don't have the information. That's it. Just in general, whenever I hear that, in general, you have to agree that it's kind of true that whenever government does something, it's like 60-40. 60% is going to be inefficient and weird and probably bad, and 40% of cases it's going to be fine. You have to at least agree with me on that, don't you think? Okay. Oh, there she is. I didn't see her. Okay. I really need to play with that Shaco. I really don't mind spending money on helping refugees. And that's the thing about charity. Charity works, but government charity almost never works. Simply because there's just a simple fact of resistance and pressure. When you funnel something, in this case money, through the more people touch something, the more resistance there is, and the more energy kind of slips away from it. In this sense, when it's funneled like indirectly through some kind of government agencies and stuff, it's just literally you lose money on that, and that's just that's the reason. I think, in my mind, that's always the reason why charity works and government charity doesn't work. But to be fair, those weren't comedy classes. Those were more like ways of, I don't even know. It wasn't explicitly like comedy classes. It was more like something. And again, I'm not saying it's bad. It might be even kind of cool to have classes like that for refugees, but again, there has to be more priority. There has to be more priority. Okay. Love working with that uncle. I've said before that I like Shaco. I think of him as my uncle. Like coping. It wasn't directly therapy, but it was. There was improv, stuff. There was like people were just playing games and stuff. But it wasn't strictly to do comedy. It was more like an activity or something, So in that sense, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't like ha ha ha, let's la la la. Although it's often just a part of it, And that thing got closed down. I was amazed when I heard about it. I was just amazed. Okay. There's that Shaco. There's that Shaco. You gotta be really careful with this. Because they could, This Aurelia really getting scooped here. Multiple times. Really getting scooped here multiple times, How can you people play without wave clear? I always get something for pushing. You are correct. But that's... In my last video I was talking about this, that I don't know if Profane Hydra is in fact better than... Because how do you compare macro? How do you compare the fact that you got extra 10 seconds with some extra damage from the poke? How do you compare those? I don't know. Literally don't know. No idea. Oh, no, 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 Jacob. Look up Jacob. Jacob. This is one of the biggest myths of all time. And I hate to be so combative on this issue, but to my mind, very simple. Look up stats of the most government regulated industries, healthcare, in the United States, healthcare, education, whatever else is there. And look at the cost of those things over time compared to the unregulated industries like cars, electronics, all that stuff. Look at the stats. You're going to become a anarcho-capitalist in 5 seconds if you look at those stats. Okay. Oh, gin. Toxico. Toxico. That's his name. Okay. Irelia 2-8. Mind you, she swapped with Lux. The graph that I saw about those regulated prices and stuff, for industries, it's almost too perfect. Like every single time every industry that was regulated was way, way more expensive and didn't experience kind of like the natural price reduction that all the other industries experience. Which makes a lot of sense, Oh. Because, as humans get better at doing stuff, price reduces, over big time. Okay. Later he'll be worse. I feel like Shaco is gonna pay for himself. I think he's gonna pay for himself. For these, the big damage. Although you might be right. I have seen Shacos just not do anything later. That's a good stun. It's a good stun. Probably can't. You know what? One of the fun things about Yorick is that you can chase. Well, you can chase if it matters, and Maiden can just push. And thus, that way you don't lose anything. People very, very often say, when do I release Maiden? And this is one of those times. Although she escaped immediately, okay, but imagine if I had chased her more. Okay. Not investing in education as a government isn't smart. Again, I don't want to be like this, Department of Education should be, gone. The thing is, I would really like to see, okay, so what happens? Is it really that bad? Because people treat it as such a big sin that you would just, close down something like that. I would just, there's stuff that people just take as a rule, that this is how it is. And usually those things are the ones that I would like to see, oh really? Is it really how it is, and is it really how it should be? Because, the prices of healthcare and education is pretty bad in the United States. It's the worst in the world, right? And it just... and people in politics would tell you, oh no, it's just a coincidence that the most regulated areas are the most expensive. No, it's just coincidence. Big monopoly man bad. Come on, come on. That's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Okay. It's just ridiculous. In countries with social policies is way cheaper. No, you're probably thinking of super rich countries where you can't see the actual price. Come to Latvia. We have kind of like the socialist thing. We're just poor. And it's bad. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. What happens is you go to the doctor and they have these check boxes. We have these family doctors. I remember going to my doctor and she just literally quickly just checked some boxes, gave me some, stuff to do, and it actually did feel like she was just, going through the thing that will make her the most money, because they have these weird incentives for example, if you diagnose cancer, you get extra points. So why would you have an incentive to diagnose cancer? What the F is that? What kind of a weird, absolutely kind of, weird system is that, What's going on there? And we literally have that. Or at least we had it. I'm not sure if it's still in place, but I know for a fact that a few years back, that system was, America and healthcare are not government funded, though. Are you saying the other one? No, it's the worst possible thing of all time in the United States. There's regulation from the government. There are all kinds of rules like, you 100% have to pay for this, or you 100% have to take this company. They have rules like that. And that allows people to just cheat a lot. So it's exactly the worst, the worst possible situation that could be. There is, where government doesn't directly fund it, as I understand it, but they just have these rules which make it so that people can win and others can't win, stuff like that. But all this being said, I'm not entirely sure that it is that bad, because, and again, I do understand, the price is ridiculous, but is it really? Because I've heard people debate, I've heard debates about, that even with all of this horrible incentive system that is in place there, you would still like to have American job and American healthcare, even if you pay so much. You would still get a better, at the end of the day, you would have more stuff. So I'm not sure if that's true. I've just, I'm just, again, I would have to look kind of into that, because, damn, that's some damage done. That's some damage done. Well played to this Galio, honestly. Well played to this Galio. At the end of the day, I always think, when people whine about the United States, I always think, okay, I have a 9-to-5 job in Latvia. You have a 9-to-5 job in the United States. You have 3 times more stuff than I do at the end of the day. After all, the weird moving money around is done, you have 3 to 10 more times stuff than I do. And again, I hate to sound whiny. I don't mean to be whiny. I always think about this when people whine in the United States, Okay. Galio switched mid to secure first tower. Nice move. Galio was really good. I have to agree. Yeah. I have to agree. Did you see the high noon Yorick? Yeah, my friend. Yeah, I played with it. Free college and healthcare. The United States don't have free college. They have these most expensive, that's the big whining point of the modern humans in the United States, no? It's funny, I read an article that the poorest state of them was richer than UK. Well, that sounds a little bit too, you know, a little bit too good to be true. I do not know what happens to people who could not afford treatment. There probably are, you know, there's stuff you can do. Probably is, yeah. Mr. Pokrick, you do a fine job of entertaining your chat's interest without causing conflict. You show maturity beyond your years. Well done, sir. That makes me think, you know, what if I'm... Who am I? You know, who am I? What is my purpose in the world? What is my purpose in the world? What will I do? What will I change in the world, you know? Oh, farming, yeah. Two people say farming at the same time. One in the YouTube chat and one in the Twitch chat. Your purpose is to scoop Iralia. You know, it's time, I think. Yesterday, I opened up a video and I didn't finish listening to it. I think it's time. Okay, let's open up YouTube. History. Alan Watts. Let's see, where is that video? Where is that video? It was not a long video.
Energy.
Okay, let's review
Once
this
upon
one.
a time, there was a Zen student
Do you
who
hear it?
quoted an old Buddhist poem to his teacher, which says, "The voices of torrents are from one great tongue. The lines of the hills are the pure body of Buddha." "Isn't that right?" he said to the teacher. "It is," said the teacher, "but it's a pity to say so. It would be, of course, much better if this occasion were celebrated with no talk at all, and if I addressed you in the manner of the ancient teachers of Zen, I should hit the microphone with my fan and leave. Because Zen is a way of life, a state of being that is not possible to embrace in any concept whatsoever."
You know, a lot of this, what he just said, I didn't really understand. But the last part where he says...
That is not possible. A state of being that is not possible to embrace in any concept.
The state of being that is not possible to embrace in concept, you know, I do like that because that is, you know, I think that there's a lot of truth. Maybe there's an infinite amount of truth in saying that, oh, you can't even name this. I like that. I like that a lot, you know. I like that a lot.
Whatsoever. So that any concepts, any ideas, any words that I shall put across to you this evening will have as their object showing you the limitations of words and of thinking.
You know, there's this saying that fool is the person who looks at the finger that points to the moon. Deep, right? This type of stuff kind of has this bad reputation of being annoying because you think, again, something, you know, some sounding smart, you know, blah, blah, blah. But especially this thing where you point to something that is in reality that you can't name, that's a cool thing. That's a very cool thing, you know. That's a cool thing to kind of wrap your mind around. I've dropped League for Skyrim. Could never have guessed. Many mods, including Mantella for AI-driven dialogue. Ooh, interesting, interesting. Hello, Rob Spirot. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Healthcare is expensive. Most cures are yours. The bottom line for me is, if I worked as a programmer in the United States, would I have better healthcare than in Latvia? Or, let's say, other European countries? Would that be true? And on top of that, if we removed all of the weird regulations that they have just to make it less expensive, how much better would that be? And I think a lot, you know, I think a lot. I think quite a lot. Okay, who's gonna be against me here? Who's gonna be against me here? Probably Kale, though. Somebody on the stream said that they like me doing hex flashes recently. I haven't done any hex flashes on the stream yet. Better quality or access? Well, both. So in Latvia, what we have, of course, you know, is the classic, super classic thing where you're put in a line to get the access to the treatment, and there are all kinds of manipulations you can do to have your, you know, to kind of bump yourself up in the queue, but only the people with the inside knowledge know how to do that. So, you know, it's exactly the same thing that happens in richer countries who have the same system. It's just that you can't see that it's that bad when the country is rich. That's my humble opinion. That's my humble opinion. That is my humble opinion, okay. I'd guess Kale considering the bans. Oh, you mean like she banned something. What did she ban, by the way? Can someone rewind a little bit? Tuna? Tuna?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Oh, the chat isn't visible. Why did I turn it off and no one said it? Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yoni banned Mel and she banned Fiora. Okay. Now, okay, let me focus here because I know how to win against Kale. I know how to do it. It's just that it's not that easy, considering the jungler. You know, Black Panther, it's all going to come down to how much he ganks, he or she. It's all going to come down to how much he or she ganks. He or they them, or Ka. Chem. Sorry, had to say that. I wonder if I should push the first wave, you know? Slap. Boom. That's very good. You know, if you can get this first slap against Kale, that's gonna be pretty good. Okay. Damn, these Shakos have started doing that raptor. Just automatically killing the raptor. Oh, what are you doing, Kale? Okay. Pressure used my ignite, which is totally fine in my book. Because the thing you have to do is you have to keep her on her toes. and that's it. And if you don't get ganked by doing this, it's gonna be fine. But if I get ganked, you know, then I might reconsider my choices later. Now I have to crash this wave, and it's all cool beans if I crash it. If I crash it, it's all cool beans. Because she's gonna have to use TP soon. Who died there? Okay. You know what? I'll just maybe go back. There's the cockroach. There's the cockroach. There you are. There you are, Mr. Kazakhs. Black Panther. Black Panther. I see you. I see you, Black Panther. Damn, I lost some CS. Oh no, I shouldn't have been so eager to find the vision. I actually lost only 2. So it's fine. No, I lost 3. Damn. You shouldn't have seen that. Close your eyes. The father drunk. The father drunk. The father drunk. What are you doing? Is he here or what? Damn, I'm getting paranoid. No, he's not. No, he's not. Oh. Careful, Kale. Careful. Sweet Lord, how is she so lucky there? How is she so lucky there? Okay. How is she so lucky there? I don't like this. Now I have failed. Now I have failed. I had to kill her there because, you know, obviously I didn't. Now I'm going to be suffering a little bit. I still think I'm going to out-sustain her in the long term, but, you know, that's in the long term. That's like 2 minutes from now. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, I didn't want to hit her, actually. Misclicked. Okay. That Shaco gang. Casually using Hex Flash to farm. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures, you know. Ah, she get ganked. There we go. There we go. That's what we needed. That is exactly what we needed. Have you tried buffed spellbook? No, I have not. No, I have not. Oh, my friend. No, I have not. Maybe I should. But the comet is, you know, you need the comet. What items does he have? Oh, okay. Well, I have to go for the Black Cleaver then. Sorry. I have to go for the Black Cleaver this game. Just because of the Shaco. But make no mistake, I think that 1v1 against Kale, Eclipse is better than Black Cleaver. But since there's Shaco, you know, that's why I'm getting the Black Cleaver now. And of course, since he's doing AD, you know, he's not AP. So that's something. What you doing, lady? Oh, unlucky. Although she has to go back now, you know. Ignite has way less cooldown, way smaller cooldown than TP, so she mad, look at that. Pressure cooker. Pressure cooker. You're right to remind me of that. You are right to remind me of that. Unfortunately, Maiden doesn't trigger this for some reason. I think that's the first Hex Flash that did something this match. That on this stream. That's the first one. Let me try to do something with the Hex Flash. The thing is... The thing is that it... Okay, this wasn't the thing I wanted to show, but damn, I can't go to the grubs because I risk losing this. The plate. Okay. Okay. Oh, Shaco, please escape that. Oh, we both might die now. Oh, sweet Jesus. I didn't see that this happened. Yeah. When we lose this match, remember this moment. Saw a shiny object. Grubs. Went to Shaco. Okay. This is exactly what the scale needed. I'm actually pretty mad. I don't think listening to... I don't think listening to Alan Watts for an hour would even make me unmad now. Yeah. I am pretty mad. Let's try to channel that madness into some kills, okay? Let's try to channel that madness into some kills. Da-da. There it is. That's that first poke. And that's that wall. And of course, the very nice thing that I've shown you a lot of times is that when you have mana flow banned, you can just simply... Oh, that's one. One is fine. You can just simply use your wall as you want, you know. Sometimes even block a cannon minion or something. Just block these guys like this or something, you know. Oh. Gotta be careful now, because she might be able to 1v1 me now. Without Maiden, of course. You know, when I don't have Maiden, of course. Whoop, there it is. Don't do that. Don't do that, Kale. She was thirsty. Almost like in a desert, you know? True, that's a good sound effect. You have chosen well, Tuna. You have chosen well out of that soundboard, you know? Gotta be careful, because without Maiden, you know, she can do this. She can do this. Da-da. Oh. Who mad? What you doing? Actually, you know, ego diff, because she wanted to punish me. Really seemed like she wanted to punish me. She will have... What tilt does to a person is crazy. Yeah, completely agree. We are on the same wavelength. Although, the fact that she said that gives me so much respect for her now. So much respect for that. By the way, should have went back instead of pushing this. Sweet Lord, what am I doing? If she interrupts me, if she doesn't interrupt me, that's just a happiness if she doesn't. But if she does, then, you know, And she doesn't. Lucky me. Lucky me. What about Hydra Yorick with Trinity Force? Trinity Force on this channel is not welcome. So you better unsubscribe. I joke, of course. You should unsubscribe and turn your computer off.
Shut down.
He getting those shutdowns. He getting those shutdowns. I don't like it.
Has been slain.
Okay. Black Cleaver. I need to get her now. She doesn't have R for just like 15 seconds. She doesn't have R for like 15 seconds. Where is he? Can I get her? I don't think I can. Okay. I don't think you can. Flash Rick. Yeah. That was Flash Rick. Abused it. Okay. Okay, she getting nibbled by those ghouls. She doesn't have TP, so Tower's a goner. He's a goner. He's a goner. He's a goner. Okay. Let's see if I can do a Hex Flash from outside of this, from the other side of this. Oh, they triggered the combat, so you can't. Damn, I didn't. I still don't understand how the combat works for the Hex Flash, you know? Too early. Didn't have my E before I started the Hex Flash, so... I'm a novice user of Hex Flash, you know, forgive me for all of that. I'm just a novice user. I'm a Hex Flash noob, okay? Damn, they have nerfed the ghoul damage on the jungle camps. Sweet Jesus. I'm actually enjoying a free lane because the... I don't know why Kha'Zix is ignoring her, but he is. Okay. But he indeed is. Oh, he's actually not ignoring anymore. Oh. That's unlucky. That's unlucky for Mrs. Kale here. Why Cleaver? It's because of Shaco. I think that's big value. All because of Shaco. All because of the clown. Oh, poor fish.
An ally has been slain.
Ah. Sheen is very strong. I agree. Completely agree. I completely agree. If I now get to not play against Kale, this is going to be a winning build. Because the only problem is going to be if I play against Kale now. That's the only problem. If I get to just relax... Why do you have so many hats? Well, I have to. I have to. Because I can. 1% one hat, yeah. 1% one hat. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. We don't want to be stuck there. The fish having some trouble. You know, just some rubble trouble. Yorick bot opened. I can't fight Kale. Let me do some caveman pinging there. I hope he understands the sign language, you know. I hope he understands. Because why would I get Iceborne Gauntlet and then go against Kale? Why would I do that? Please, Cassidon. Heavy is the hat. That's true. Heavy is the cam. Okay, I'm gonna get this wave, but not fight her because... Oh! Well, I didn't want to fight her, but it kind of turned into that, you know. It kind of turned into that. So we don't... Oh! Can't fight both of them. Oh no! Or can I? Actually, you know, yeah, well, is what it is. Is what it is. Happens. Happens sometimes. I think when you get Black Cleaver, you can't buy Leandries. I don't know. It depends on when if they have armor. So I see that they don't, so why would I get Leandries now? Charlie Sheen, yeah. That's dumb. I love it. Oh, I love it. I can't believe I haven't used that more. I usually love these types of How come though for Shaco? Because he is building AD. That's why. And sometimes all it takes for you to win a game is to get your fed jungler just a little tiny bit of that extra push, you know? You just give it a little extra push and that's it. Will I be in time for that Otacon? What do you think? Will I be in time there? I think I will. What about Titanic? What about it? It does AoE. It's a little bit bugged. But it's good, you know. It's good in general. Whoop. Hex Flash. You know, sometimes I'm just in the mood for good Hex Flashes, but sometimes they don't happen. 11 seconds. 8 seconds. 7, 5, okay. Casson is gonna take those. That's unlucky, but it is what it is. I would love if Shaco was doing the same, kind of like the same objectives that we want, but you know, I guess we should start it. Please, Shaco. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I guess we baited them, right? Okay. Worth anyway. Otacon is interesting because he shreds your armor. Did you know that? Why do I have 2 ruby crystals? What was I thinking? Careful with all of this. I don't know, bros. Yeah, I actually do know it's pretty bad. Well, it was bad until it wasn't. Baron shreds too, really? Actually didn't know that. You know, just randomly I might buy the Hydra now. Since the game is random, it might become more random, right? For the Heartsteel, no, it's too late, my boy. It's too late. Too late in the game. Heavy is the hat. Last pick, Kale, let's go. She actually lost because of that early Shaco gank, if you remember. After this match, I'm gonna have a little break, and then we can continue some matches. Just a few more matches. One thing I really like about the Pigeons game is that it looks ridiculous, and let me tell you, those of you who are from the Discord, the little gun that I added to the Pigeon, because it makes sense. My vision currently is that for you to be able to catch someone... Oh, there's silence. There's that silence. For you to be able to catch someone, you will have to put on your glasses, your mustache, and you will have to pull out the gun. And pulling out the gun is going to have a sound. So you will be able to hear when someone pulls out the gun. And I feel like that could be a nice, funny rhythm to the match where no one knows who is who, right? And then you just, you know, all these little things will give you away. So I kind of expect the game to be something like that. And I really hope that it's gonna play out, you know, and it's gonna be fun, finally. I didn't know that Baron shreds armor, so, you know, it is what it is. So in that sense, the team that starts it is the one that kind of exposes them to a possible, you know, some kind of a wipeout, right? Right? Oh, there it is. There's that wipeout. We actually didn't want that to happen, but it did happen. And right now, Kale is probably going to protect this, right? Yeah, they have the fast recall, so I don't even need to finish this thing. Yep. That's what we needed. That is what we needed, my boys. That is exactly what we needed. That's that sweet nectar of giving Baron to the enemy. Mid tower surviving with Kassadin in our team, something didn't work for your opponents. Yeah, he just probably played well, right? He played very well. Ooh, there she is. Now suddenly I might have to get Jackshaw. That's it. Might have to get Jackshaw now. Gotta be careful, they can easily win, and I do mean easily, okay? And I do mean easily. Come on, Brom. you doing, boy? Actually. He was actually a masturbator. Or was he, though? I feel like he got nibbled there by that Leandries. I should really watch what happened, because that's that nibble. That's that nibble that happens sometimes. Okay. Gotta stop her, by the way. Because if she can't get back, that's big. Although she does have the fast recall, right? Still. Okay. Oh, this is a little bit... This is awkward. How much longer? Soon. Soon it expires. Don't do it. Don't do it. Black Panther. Shaco. Shaco dying. Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-da. Braum, you're gonna get nibbled again. Actually, no. I am the one who's gonna get nibbled. Okay. I don't have enough for the Jackshaw, unfortunately. Okay. Maybe I have enough for something else. Okay. Let's get the Force of Nature. Probably not the best item, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Because you're trolling. Someone says in the chat. Someone says that someone else is trolling. Trolling, 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 trolling. We do need this. I can't let this Kha'Zix have even a chance of getting this. Even a small chance. I can't let him. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that Force of Nature is kind of good against Kale, but we'll see, we'll see. If they can start that push, let's see if I can win against her. I should win against her if she has... Please tell me that it's not going to be enough. There it is. Although I could lose this, you know. Wow. That's that Force of Nature, isn't it? That's that Force of Nature, boys. That's that Force of Nature. I guarantee I would have died without it. I guarantee. I guarantee. Easy. Actually not easy, no. Wasn't that easy. So. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the claps. Promoted to Diamond 4. Here we go. Back to the bowels of League of Legends. For a moment there I was worried that I'm not going to be in the bowels of League of Legends. But I am. Actually, you know what? It's 2 hours. Maybe I can call it a day, you know. It's already 11:20 for me, so I might just go out. Enjoy a little bit of that sun. And then just work on the Pigeon Agents, you know. Please follow the Discord if you're interested. And I intend to release the Steam page in about a month. You know, month's time, 3 to 4 weeks maybe. And yeah, then it's going to be a whole new thing, because when you have a Steam page, as I understand, you have to promote it, and I will have to start doing that, you know. So again, Thanks for watching this, my friends, and I will see you next time. I will see you next time. I will definitely see you next time. Tuna. Who else? Kindergarts 6-8. Who else is there? Who else do we have? Peter, Chris, Faisal, The Arbiter, BPG Angel, Korumpel, Non-Expu, MC God. That's a mouthful. Bottled Fumo. Yeah. Basil Kusiel. 2. Bye to you too. And yeah. It's actually perfect. It was a nice stream, says Peter. Yeah, Peter. I've seen your comments. Actually, I should respond. There was a comment where you said about Fimble Winter. You asked if it's a good item. It's not. Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time.